Last year, I was sitting in front of my computer trying to find all of my professional documents because I was doing some credentialing with a company. And I was just getting so frustrated and so mad at myself. I was thinking, what is wrong with me? Why can't I have these documents organized? Every time I sit down to find these files, I cannot remember what made sense at the time, like how I filed them. And then, of course, expiration dates. We've got state license, DEA number, NCCPA, BLS, ALS, all those different certifications that we have that all expire at different times. How are we supposed to keep track of all that? And I've just always thought there's not a great way to do this, to have this stuff organized. But I was wrong. Thankfully, AAPA had come to me and asked me to make a series of videos for them. This is actually the last of the sponsored videos in a series. And it was while I was making the video about all of the membership benefits that you get as an AAPA member that I discovered this PA portfolio. This is a place where you can upload all of your different professional documents, including things like your resume and cover letters and stuff like that. And not only can you upload it there and easily access them when you need them, but they also have reminders that you can set so that you know when something is getting ready to expire. That is just brilliant. You also can easily share those documents with anybody, and they're secure. It's like over a secure network. The person has to have the access code. So I'm going to walk you through this tool and I'm going to show you how it works, examples of how you add stuff and how you can set the reminders. And then I'll show you my finished portfolio and how you can easily send it to others. Go to AAPA's website and go to Career Central, then scroll down to the PA portfolio here. So at this point, if you're a member, you can just click on that Access Now button. Or if you aren't a member, you can purchase the access to the portfolio here. Okay, so when you get into the portfolio, you can see the list of all the different categories of things that you can enter. Across the top here are the different pages that you can go to. For the profile section here, you can see you can put in, your standard profile information. This page is also where you can enter your proof of identification, like your driver's license and your passport, and then proof of name change here. This is very handy if you have gotten married or gone through a divorce. This is where you can keep that proof. Now we move on to education. There's places here for your undergraduate education, your PA education, any other postgraduate training you'd have, any other degrees you've gotten, like if you've got an MBA or another master's or whatever. And if you do a residency or a fellowship, you can put that information here as well. And then your clinical rotation records if you want to put all those in. And what's really cool here and makes it so easy to enter this stuff is when you start entering your school name, a pre-populated list will pop up with like all of the schools in the country. You can just easily find your school. Once you select that, it'll pop in the address and phone number, all of that tedious stuff that you may not have handy. And then, of course, you can enter your specific stuff and then upload the supporting document. So next up is the CME section. You can absolutely log CME that you've gotten other places, but this area really shines when you get AAPA specific CME, because any CME that you finish through AAPA will log automatically here in this CME list. But what's even better is that you can then transfer this AAPA CME over to NCCPA with like the click of a button. If you look at this list, you'll see this CME that I got about PA advocacy. And you can see this one below it. It has a sent status. That means I sent it to NCCPA. So let me show you how you easily do that. In the CME tab, any CME that's available for transfer will have this empty box in front of it. Then you click all of the boxes of any of the CME that you want to have transferred. Then you hit the send credits. And then here under the sent status, you'll see how much was sent and the date it was sent. And here it is in my NCCPA dashboard. Now, before you can begin transferring credits to NCCPA, you need to link your NCCPA account to your PA portfolio. As you can see, my instructions say that I've already done that. If you haven't done it yet, you'll get these instructions. You just click the Link NCCPA account button at the top of the page and enter your NCCPA credentials. If you go to the AAPA conference, all the certificates that you get from there, I can't stress how easy it is to get those and then send them over to NCCPA. You will be amazed at how much time it will save you. Okay, so under the Credentials tab, this is where you're going to log your NCCPA certification, your state license, and you can add as many of these records as you want. You just add one and then hit Add SL. So you want to put another state license in. And then if you look down here, this is where you set those reminders. You can choose to have it remind you 1 month before expiring, 3 months before expiring, or 6 months before it expires. So basically you can set it and kind of forget about it. AAPA is going to know when you want to be reminded and they will send you that reminder. That's such a relief knowing that you have these reminders set up and you're not going to be missing these important dates. So as you can see, you can also add in any CAQs you might have, any of your ACLS, BLS, anything like that, and then any other specialty certifications that you might have. Another thing on things like the state license and the DEA, you actually mark the status as well: active, inactive, suspended, other. So you can easily keep track of even previous licenses that you might have held. This next tab here, the practice tab, this is where you're going to keep track of your malpractice insurance. You really need to be asking your organization for a copy of the malpractice COI, which is the certificate of insurance. It's a 1-sheet page and it's going to have the name of the insurance company, the address, the phone number, and it'll also stipulate what your coverage is. So please make sure that you're getting copies of these from your organization. And this is where you can log them to keep them all in one place. The next field here is the immunization records. Now these next 3 are things that I think could easily get lost in your files, or maybe you've never even thought to compile them. So the privileges list, once you get privileged with an organization, make sure that you get a copy, store it here. Same thing for collaborative agreements, put that here. And then if you keep a procedure log, you can upload it here. These can come in handy when you're applying for different jobs that may want to know what kind of experience you have in that particular field. Now the career tab starts off here with CV, cover letter, references. So you can have lots of different versions of your resume already done. So if there's a couple different types of specialties you're interested in applying to different jobs, it'll be easy to pull a pre-formatted resume and cover letter for that particular specialty. And of course your references, how many times I've scrambled trying to find everybody's phone number and address. And then as you see here, you can log any professional memberships. You can put in volunteer service, any publications or presentations that you've made. And then you have places to log any awards or recognition you've received, any committees or commissions that you've been a part of, or if you have things like military or veteran forms, those all can go here. So you can see here my portfolio and how nice and filled out it is. And I was surprised at how fast I was able to get all of that done. And now I'll never have to scramble and do that again. It's all in one place. So let me show you how you share it now that you have it all filled out. So you go over here to the Share tab, click here to create a PDF and share. Then you name the portfolio. Now below this portfolio name is all of the different categories of information that you entered in. And this is where you'll have the option to select what information you want to include in this portfolio. So you go through and you select everything you want. This sort order, you actually can put like number 1 through 7 or whatever. If you don't want to get that detailed, then you just ignore that start order. And here's what the PA portfolio looks like once you create it and tell it what information you want in there. I also love that it has this table of contents here so that the person who's receiving it can easily see what all is included there. Now, once you create this portfolio and you go back into the Share tab, then you'll see that that's a portfolio that you now have access to. And then I've got these different options here. If you want to share this information with somebody, it's probably best to use the secure link here, the second option. If you pick that option to send it by secure link, this is the page that's going to pop up. And it's going to tell you that you need to enter in the information down below, including a little message, just like you would in an email. You can do it all right here. And then it tells you what the access code is, and it tells you that the recipient is going to need that access code in order to open that file. So there's a little box that you can check right here that allows the access code to be included to the recipient, and hit send. And it says that it's coming from you and your contact information. Very neat, very professional, not just a bunch of random links here or there that the person has to hunt and peck through. And then let's look at this view sharing history, because this is pretty cool too, especially if you're applying to lots of different places. If you do it through here, then you'll have a record of exactly who you sent it to and when you sent it. And it's got this click count here, so it'll let you know if it's actually been clicked into or not. So again, very easy for you to get the information sent off to them. It's more secure, so you are not sending your sensitive information just as an attachment over email. But I think it also looks great on the other side because it comes across as very professional. All the information that they need is right there in one document. You may be wondering, like, what other incredible benefits does AAPA offer its members that maybe you're missing out on? If that's you, then I suggest you watch this video here. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, take care, stay sane, and I'll see you next time on the Medicine Couch. Bye.